Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Prevailing Moment. Recently, I shared a message with a group of teenagers at the Methodist Home for Children. And as I reflected on that message and the fact that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I realized that that message has meaning and encouragement for any person who has experienced any form of abuse. And so, the key verse that I want to hone in on and that I did hone in on was Isaiah 61, verse 3. It says, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. And so, what I'm holding in my hand are a pair of socks that are called junk socks. These socks may not look like much to most people. And sometimes, we have socks that get old, they get mismatched or forgotten, but we decorated them and turned them into something unique and beautiful. And what I want to say is that sometimes our lives feel like that. They feel junky, plain, lacking in purpose, cast aside, or even taken for granted, as well as taken advantage of by people who should care and love us. But God has a way of taking what others overlook and disregard and turning it into something precious. And so I want to emphasize how God sees value where others see junk. The world might see brokenness, but God sees beauty in the making. He says to us in Ephesians 2:10, "For we are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works." Listen, he never throws us away. He restores us, redeems us, and repurposes us. Our value is not defined by what people have said about us or done to us. There are women in the Bible who found beauty for their ashes. For example, look at Rahab. She was a prostitute in Joshua chapter 2. But Rahab was a woman with a past, as we know. She was known for her mistakes and her choices. But when she chose faith and helped God's people, her entire life changed. God took her from being an outcast to being part of the lineage of Jesus Christ. Her ashes of shame became the beauty of redemption. And look at the woman at the well in John chapter 4. She had a history that made her avoid others, 5 failed relationships. Yet, Jesus met her on purpose, offered her living water, and told her that she matters in essence. She became one of the first evangelists running to tell everyone about Jesus. Her ashes of rejection became the beauty of a voice that brought others to Christ. And not too long ago, I talked about Tamar in Genesis 38. Tamar was wronged, overlooked, and left vulnerable. But she stood in courage and refused to let her story end in disgrace. God honored her perseverance. She became part of the family line that led to King David and eventually to Jesus. Her ashes of injustice became the beauty of a legacy. And just like God transformed the lives of women in the Bible, He transforms our lives today. As the girls decorated their socks, they were encouraged to let each jewel or bead represent something that God is adding to their lives. And so, similarly, for those listening, God adds value to your life. He gives you strength for your struggles, joy for your sorrow, hope for your hurt. God can create beauty out of something plain and can restore your broken heart from years of heartache and pain. So I want you to be encouraged. You are not what you've been through. You are not your mistakes. You are not your pain or your past. Like Rahab, Tamar and the woman at the well, you are being redefined by God's grace. You are not what happened to you. You are chosen, cherished, and beautifully made in God's image. So, just like these junk socks became a symbol of what God is doing inside of those girls, He's crafting beauty, strength, and purpose where pain once lived inside of you. God does turn ashes into beauty, pain into purpose, and brokenness into blessings. May you be blessed by this message today. I'm Dr. Samantha Wilson Murphy, and this is your prevailing moment. Please like this message and share it with others, as well as subscribe to all of our social media pages. Thank you.